Hello friends, welcome back. I am Jason and just got back from a trip and now I'm heading out on another trip. I'm actually taking a tactical class in North Carolina and I got to get geared up for that. But before I do that, before I prepare and pack for that trip, I've got to clean up my mess. So got a bunch of tools and camp gear and stuff in there and I got to get sorted out. But I thought what I'd do today is show you kind of a lot of the gear that I'm bringing along with me for this tactical class, and then how I'm going to set up my camp, the back of my truck, so I can stay the night out there. I'm going to be there for about a week. Put these under the tarp. $10 gallons of water should be enough drinking water, I would suspect, for a week. All right. Tactical fanny pack. Giant rucksack. Well, not giant, but check. And small rucksack. Check. So here's the thing about this class that I'm going to take. It's in North Carolina. I know very little about it. I haven't done a lot of research on it, to be honest with you. But I have two buddies that have taken the course before, so I asked them kind of what I needed, what should I expect, that kind of stuff, and they gave me some important information, of course. But I'm just going to be taking about everything because I don't really know what I need. There's a required checklist of gear, and I've got just about all of that, I hope, and that's what I'm going to be loading up right now. All right, maybe the first thing that we look at is my fanny pack here. So this is what I'm going to be wearing on me. It's going to have 2 rifle mags right there. I'll have 1 rifle mag in me pocket, and then I'll have 1 in the rifle as well, obviously, and then I could obviously store a whole bunch more in this fanny pack as long as I clean up some space in here. So I want a tourniquet, of course. Do I need a metal canteen cup in there? Probably not. That can probably go in my other pack. I got a brand spanking new poncho here that may or may not need to go in there. That's probably just going to go in my larger pack. I've got my neck gaiter, which is generally speaking in my pocket, which is where it's going to go right now. I've got a bottle of water that I will want in there. I've got some snacks right there. That's all going to go in the fan. I'd like to kind of keep this fairly empty as of now, and that way I can store empty mags in there or whatever needs to go in there. So I kind of want that fairly empty to start with, and it is. But down here, got a small little button compass. Thanks, my friend Daniel. Love that little compass. I've got Bic lighter, a couple Bic lighters. I've got some gaff tape there. Got an extra flashlight right there. I've got some water purification tablets. And I've got my Leatherman. I've got a couple of foamies, a few foamies actually, ear protection in case something happens to my regular ear pro, my earmuffs. And I think that's probably going to be all I need to keep in this. I can also clip another mag right here if I wanted it, but I don't think that's absolutely necessary. So that will go probably in my pocket like this. So I'll just have that in one of my cargo pockets, and then I'll have an extra mag right there. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. And then the rest of this stuff is just going to go in my smaller pack. I was told that camouflage is going to be pretty important for this course, so I've got this sniper's veil, which if you're unfamiliar with these, they're pretty dang handy. They could be used for lots of different things, kind of a multi-purpose cloth there, but for camouflage reasons, it doesn't take up much space. It doesn't weigh hardly anything. But I tell you what, you cover yourself up with one of these, regardless of what you're wearing, you cover yourself up with a sniper veil like that, and I tell you what, you can really blend into your environment, and a lot of different environments. It works quite well. So for that, I'll probably just keep this thing tucked into my fanny pack. Loosen that up a little bit. Tuck it into my fanny pack like that. Where's it at? There we go. snug it up like so. Like that. And now, I tried not to go out and buy a whole bunch of gear. I don't want to buy a bunch of crap that I'm only going to use for a class and then never again. So what I'm hoping I get from this class is that I realize some of my shortcomings when it comes to gear. Obviously, I'm going to come back with a lot of realizations of my shortcomings as far as skills go. Of course, like that is a given. But as far as gear goes, I'm hoping to come back and I'll be able to say, okay, well, didn't really need that. I really wish I would have had this and this and this, and then I can invest in those things after the fact. So I'm hoping to run what I've got, basically, run what I brung, and then see how that goes. So I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can. Didn't go out and spend a whole bunch of money. Didn't spend hardly any money at all, actually. I'm just using the equipment that I've already got, and I'm going to try to make it work. So I've got a bit of paracord. I've got some rubber gloves. I've got some iPro wrapped up in this bandana. Or actually, no, that's my water filter. So I got a Sawyer water filter in there. Like that. And here's some iPro just wrapped up in this extra neck gaiter right there just to protect the iPro. So I'll probably be wearing some, but this will just be extra. Like that. Stick that down in there. I have a canteen cup that can go in my pack here. So now let's look at our larger pack. I liked having all that in there. I like to keep everything nice and tidy in a separate little pack. This is what my poncho came in, but I don't ever use these for the poncho. I end up using them for other reasons. Like that. Alright, let's take a look at our next pack here. See what we need in there. I've got my other canteen cup. Don't need to bring two. I've got my grail right there. May or may not bring that one because it's just so big. And then I've got spare clothing in here, just spare base layers. Let's check and see what I've actually got in there. To confirm, I've got a wool cap. Spare pair of socks. I've got a wool shirt and a leaf. I've got a wool shirt, some underwear, and a pair of long johns right there, and my toothbrush. So I think I'll probably end up keeping this stuff in there because it'd be nice to have a spare set of clothes just in case I get soaked. Spare base layer at least. So I'll keep all that in there. My wool cap. Yeah, I'll throw that in there. There's my spare clothes. Don't know if I'll need any of this stuff, but better to have it and not need it, right? Grail water filter. Not sure what the water situation is going to be. Not sure if we're going to have to source our own water or provide our own water. Probably a combination of the two if I had to guess. Obviously, I've got my 10 gallons of water in here for camp situation, for training purposes, but if we need to source clean water off the landscape, it'd be really nice to have that. So perhaps I'll just keep this grail in there like so. I've got my poncho in here, but this is my older one, and I'm just going to go ahead and swap it out for the newer one. Right there, this is my brand new poncho. I attach, in the corners of my poncho, I always attach a little bit of bank line like that, so it makes it easier to drive wooden stakes through there because wooden stakes don't often fit through the grommets. Stick my poncho in there. My canteen cup, I always like to have a canteen cup So I'll stick that in there, and that's got my extra eye pro and hearing protection and stuff like that. Eyes and ears. That's probably all that's going to go in there. If I was to wear all my gear right now, it works quite well together. The fanny pack rides below this pack, the smaller pack. Right there, I can strap extra layers. I can put extra layers in my... It's going to be cold. It's going to be like, I think 16, 17 degrees, something like that tonight. Tomorrow, I think it's supposed to be even colder. I don't know. So I can have extra layers either strapped with those compression straps on the back of my pack, or I can put them in the pack, so forth and so on. I needed to carry extra camping gear. I don't know if we're going to be camping out on the land. So as far as I know, we're going to be camping kind of at a base camp situation. So I'm not going to need to carry all of my sleep gear that's in this bigger rucksack right there. I just need to carry the essentials for the day of training, and I think this is going to be fine. I need to have a notepad. I need a small notepad, a couple of pencils, and a pen right there. That's going to go in the fanny pack. And the awesome thing about the fanny pack is you could do that right there. And I can get what I need out of it without taking everything off. So I'll take my pencils, pens, stick those in there. Good to go. A couple of snacks and water like that. What else do we need? Let's go through our checklist. Obviously, we need ammo and stuff like that, so I'm going to go grab more mags. Now, I'm not sure we're going to be doing any pistol shooting whatsoever, but I figured I might as well bring it just in case. I think we're just sticking to the rifle, but you never know. And, you know, what if the zombies attack while I'm gone? Got to be prepared. So when you're training with a bunch of people, your mags can get mixed up. And magazines are pretty expensive. I forget what they are now, but I think these Glock mags are like, I don't know, 30 bucks a pop, something like that. And ain't nobody got time to be losing them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray paint them all the same color. Most of them are spray painted gray already, but I'm going to give them a touch-up. That way I know the gray ones are mine. Chances of somebody else having a gray painted mag, it's possible, I guess. I could, but most likely it'll be easy to identify who's whose. But just to be sure, nobody's going to have gray and green, right? So we're going to do a little bit of, just a touch of green on there, just a touch. Half gray, half green. Some basic cleaning supplies, some rags might be helpful, I don't know. Got my gloves. I don't typically wear gloves much, but I've got my mechanics gloves that I wear from time to time, but they're a bit wore out. Hole in the finger, and on the packing list it said gloves, so I figured I'd get some cool tactical gloves like these, and I'd fit in. Oh yeah, ultra tactical. Look at those. Those will work. Those would be good moto gloves too, right? The motorcycle, palm protection, hardened knuckles there in case I get invited into the octagon. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. But they're all clean. I can't possibly show up to a tactical course with brand new gloves on. I'll look like an idiot. There we go. Got to break them in just a little bit. Just a little. So those will probably go in my fanny pack as well, like that. I've got hearing protection, check. I need to check the batteries in these. I hate stuff with batteries. Stuff with batteries irritates the crap out of me. It just seems so wasteful. The batteries are always dead, especially in the cold. I usually just use the earmuffs or the foamies with no batteries in them, and I don't worry about being able to hear what people are saying. I know it's helpful. I get it, but it sure is a pain keeping up with batteries. I don't know how much radio stuff we're going to need, if any at all, but I'm packing a bunch of... I've got 3 Baofeng radios in here. I've got the charger. deal so I can keep it charged up. And between the three, I've got enough battery juice probably to last me, and all the antennas and whatnot. So that's just going to go in this little pouch here, and I'll have it with me if we need it. Picked up a spare canister for my stove, so when I'm just cooking around camp. And I'm just going to be doing the Mountain House meals for the most part. I know they're expensive. It's like $10 a pop now. I remember when they were like $5-6 a piece, but now they're like 10. I go with the ones that have the most calories, and chicken and dumplings has a lot of calories, most bang for the buck, most protein. That's the one I typically go for. One of the ones I go for. And but that's what I've got. So I've got those, and then I'm going to bring some just canned food and snacks and stuff like that along the way as well. In here, I've got all my essential camping gear, sleep pads and whatnot. I'm probably going to be sleeping in the truck, so I'll show you how I'm going to be setting that up here in just a second. My son got my cot all soaking wet, so I got to go get a different cot and get that set up in the back. Got a bunch of wet wipes, solar lanterns for camping out in the back of the truck. And because I don't think there's going to be showers or anything like that. So a bunch of wet wipes. It's going to be freaking cold. Wet wipes in here, spare camping utensils and pots and fuels and coffee pots and all that kind of good stuff right there. Look at this, guys. I've got a wall of stickers. If you've got an outdoor related company and you want a sticker on the OTAT here, you need to send me a sticker. Reach out to me on Instagram is probably the easiest. It's at Jason Lee Survival. At Jason Lee Survival, and send me a sticker and add to the collection there. So we'll throw our gloves in with our water bottle and some snacks in the fanny pack there. I've also got my compass, which I think is a good idea to probably have in this pouch right here, along with our notepad and pencils and whatnot. And then we could dummy cord this thing to our actual pack so we don't lose it. Stick that right in there. I have trust issues. Okay, I've got trust issues. It's a me problem. It may not be a you problem. It's a me problem. And I like to have two compasses, because I had compasses point in the wrong direction multiple times on me before. So I always want to have two compasses, one to point me in the right direction, and then one to confirm that that one's pointing me in the right direction. So I've got that one, and I've also got my small little button compass pinned to the inside there, just to confirm. Love the little brass button compasses. Now, I've got a Camelback bladder here that will work in my pack here, or this bigger rucksack here, but honestly, I'm not a big fan of Camelbacks. Yeah, they work. If you don't have time to stop and you're on the go and you're constantly on the move, you don't have time to stop and get a water bottle out of your pack, then yeah, I guess they're good for that. But I found them to be a little bit vulnerable. You get a leak in one, it soaks your pack. They're a pain to clean the big long straws out. I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan for several reasons of the Camelback bladders. But I'm going to bring one along just in case, day one I'm into this thing and I'm like, good grief, I don't have time to get a bottle out of here. They're pushing us so hard or whatever. I might want a bladder. So there it is. So in the top of my large rucksack here, spare rations right there, emergency ration. Trash bag. I should probably put a trash bag in my smaller pack as well. But I've got my basic trauma kit right here. Pretty all-inclusive. It's got just about everything that I think you might need in there in a small package. This one comes from Refuge Medical. That in conjunction with my tourniquet should be good to go. And that will go Probably should go in my fanny pack kit. Let's think on that. All right, those are dry now. Green and gray, officially. All right, friends, now in here is luxury. This is a Arctic down sleeping bag that I rarely use, except when it gets really cold and when I'm sleeping in the back of the truck, because it's so freaking big and heavy. You wouldn't want to carry it. I mean, it would take up your entire pack. But for this situation, it is ideal. All right, friends, with the exception of some more food, because like I said, I'm going to be there for a week and I want to eat well. I want to bring a bunch of food so I'm not going to starve and be wore out from low calorie intake. I want to make sure that I'm alert, aware, and ready for action so I can participate to my fullest and do my absolute best and learn as much as I possibly can. Clothing, I've obviously got to pack clothing. I'm going to dress like I normally dress. I'm probably going to wear my rubber boots, because it's snowy and wet here. It's snowy and wet there, most likely. I'm going to have a spare pair of boots, a bunch of spare pairs of socks, pants, and lots of shirts and stuff like that. I'm going to wear wool base layers because it's going to be freaking cold outside. Probably going to be getting sweaty and then cold and sweaty and then cold. This is what I'm anticipating. So I'll have all the stuff that I need, and luckily I've got the space to store it, which is fantastic. Now, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this in the comment section. Are these tactical classes worth our time? Are they worth our investment in time and money and energy? Would it be better spent on something else, like, who knows, basket weaving, gardening classes? I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it in the comment section. I think anything that we can learn, as long as we're learning and we're progressing and we're learning new skills and taking on new challenges and stressing ourselves in new and various ways, I think that it's a win. Will I be able to use all aspects of this class in my future? I really hope that small unit tactics is not in my future for real. Man, good grief. I hope that's the absolute last thing that I'll be doing. But you just absolutely never know. Get comments all the time. People say things like, it must be terrible living in a place where you have to prepare for such things like this. Well, not statistically, but historically speaking, every place is like this eventually. And it just hasn't been our time yet, at least not for a couple hundred years since Civil War, essentially, here on U.S. soil. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comment section. Leave lots of comments, ask lots of questions, and I generally try my best to respond to all legitimate questions. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the thumbs up, notifications bell, all that good stuff. And until next time, friends, what's the worst that could happen? Let's just go on 3.